A walking natural disaster with power beyond imagination, Godzilla is a force of nature, massive, indestructible, and nearly unstoppable. This is the Leviathan Protocol, a contingency for the king of the monsters. Given the immense scale of this threat, the following measures are prioritized to minimize catastrophic damage. Risk assessment: extreme. Godzilla's sheer size, durability, and nuclear-based abilities make him one of the most challenging threats to contain or neutralize. Only specialized measures will suffice. Subject analysis: Godzilla, often referred to as the king of the monsters, is a towering creature of unknown origin. His massive physical strength, regenerative abilities, and atomic breath make him nearly impossible to contain with standard methods. Godzilla's body absorbs radiation, fueling his power and allowing him to unleash devastating energy blasts capable of leveling cities. His thick hide is resistant to most weaponry, and his regenerative capabilities enable rapid healing from damage. Behavioral profile: Godzilla's behavior is often governed by territorial instincts and a drive to establish dominance over other titans. Known to be both destructive and protective, he defends what he perceives as his territory from perceived threats, whether human or kaiju. His confrontational approach frequently sees him attacking head-on, relying on overwhelming power rather than evasion or strategy. This tendency to face adversaries directly can be exploited, as his focus remains singular during combat, making it possible to deploy specialized tactics around his blind spots or direct attention. Incapacitation strategy: neutralizing Godzilla requires both suppressing his nuclear energy intake and immobilizing his massive frame. A gamma radiation dampening field surrounds the target area, designed to interfere with Godzilla's absorption of radiation. This field depletes his internal power supply over time, weakening his atomic breath and slowing his regenerative abilities. Reducing his radiation intake is essential to weakening him sufficiently for containment. Cryogenic projectiles are deployed from long-range artillery to target his limbs, covering them in a layer of freezing compounds that harden upon contact. These projectiles inhibit his movement temporarily, allowing time to initiate further containment procedures. Containment strategy: once weakened, Godzilla is directed into a reinforced containment basin, specifically constructed to withstand seismic activity and extreme pressure. This basin, filled with a rapidly cooling, dense gel-like substance, restricts movement and inhibits his thermal energy output, reducing the effectiveness of his atomic breath. An electromagnetic containment dome surrounds the basin, generating a powerful electromagnetic field that disrupts any residual energy buildup within Godzilla. This field diminishes his regenerative capability and further limits his atomic energy output. To manage potential breaches, the containment structure is lined with shock absorption panels, capable of redirecting and diffusing impact energy, reducing damage to surrounding structures. Monitoring: radiation sensors and seismic detectors provide constant real-time monitoring of Godzilla's energy levels and movement, ensuring immediate alerts if he begins to reactivate his powers. Breach response protocol: if containment fails, the Leviathan response team deploys with high-output gamma dampening units and cryogenic artillery. Their objective is to slow Godzilla's movements and re-establish energy suppression, forcing him back into containment. In the event of extreme breach conditions, a secondary containment barrier initiates, layering additional cryogenic compounds and gamma dampeners around his immediate vicinity to reduce mobility and halt atomic energy buildup. Termination contingency: termination of Godzilla is authorized only if he poses an existential threat beyond all containment capabilities. The process requires a multi-stage offensive designed to neutralize his core energy source permanently. First, sustained gamma dampening reduces his radiation reserves, depleting him of nuclear power. Once weakened, high-yield plasma strikes target critical points in his anatomy, intended to pierce his hide and disable his regenerative core. The final stage involves a focused, seismic pulse aimed directly at his central nervous system, severing his connection to atomic energy and disrupting his life force. This method is merciless, calculated to leave no possibility of reformation. Conclusion: Godzilla's strength lies in his radiation-fueled resilience and sheer power, but targeted energy depletion and cryogenic immobilization can counter these traits. Exploiting his dependence on radiation is essential to maintaining control. This is the Leviathan Protocol, and it's our only chance. If you found this protocol helpful, remember, I upload new contingency briefings every day. Your safety depends on preparation, so stay informed. If there's a specific threat you'd like analyzed, leave your suggestion below. Together, we'll ensure every contingency is covered.